Hi everyone, Mrs. Red here. It is Friday afternoon and we always do an art project for the kids on Friday afternoon. It's 4:30 here in Queensland. So I'm going to jump straight to it. Today is a little bit different. I wouldn't say this one's an art project as much as it is an art skill. So we're just learning how to do a realistic drawing today. You can see a little picture on the side there, which, oh no, it's that way for you. I'm in reverse. We will flip it over, but we're going to be doing a bunny rabbit, and it's all in regards to the fact that Easter is coming up. So I will flip the screen over now. There we go, and make sure that the chat is also up. I'll just move my stuff back in. Oh, it's trying to focus. All right, I've got, as you would have seen when it was the shot of myself, I've got the webcam set up looking directly down. And just over here is actually one of the legs of the tripod. So it's just going to get in the way there. But it's just how I have to be in regards to the camera coming down on top of me. So hopefully the focus will sort itself out as well, and hopefully it's not too glary. So what I wanted to do today is this beautiful photo. It's off Unsplash, which is a website where it's royalty-free images. And I will mention the photographer in the description, and it also goes out on my social media as well. I can't remember his name at the moment, so forgive me. I was using a different image last night, and that's the only name I can remember. So what I love about this image, I did want to do a realistic drawing of a rabbit, rather than like a line drawing of one. And the reason for that is because you've got to break down that image and learn how to break it down to sketch it up. So hopefully you will see my sketching. You may not see the very, very light lines that I do first. And that's because with my webcam, I've got to set it at a certain height and I can't do a zoom in and out on it. I may be able to, I just haven't learned how to. All right, so I've also opened up the chat box. So if you do watch this and you're drawing along, let me know where you're watching from. And I'd also love to see your artworks as well. This one is a project that adults can teach children as well. And it's probably a little bit easier for, say, ages 10 plus, because it is more of a drawing skill rather than a line drawing. All right, so let's get into it. So we're going to be focusing obviously on our little rabbit's head. You do have this image up here as well. If you look at that head, break it down. Don't worry about little fine lines. That's what we're going to start the drawing with. It's just going to be not quite a rectangle. It's going to it's going to be a little bit thinner up the top here. All right, so we've got to look at composition wise as well. This piece of paper is just a little bit bigger than the camera angle. And I want to draw, I'm just going to have to angle it a little bit for myself. I want to draw this bunny about the same size. So the paper I'm using today is mixed media paper. You can use cartridge paper if you like. It just depends what you're going to do with the bunny once you've drawn it up. And I'll talk a little bit more about that as well. I don't want my microphone being a shadow there. All right, so we're going to be drawing the head, and you'll notice that the ears are almost the same length as the head. So we don't want to draw the head up too high because we've got those ears to worry about. All right, so hopefully you're going to be able to see these pencil lines. They will get darker. I just have to, you must, when you're drawing something up, you always have to just tickle the paper. Never press hard. We're just getting all the shapes where they're meant to be. So it's looking fairly all right for the first shape. It's almost like we've done an egg. It's what it kind of resembles. And you can see that, so that's good. Now, before I go on to the ears, I just want to make sure that I'm not too thin up the top there. I don't think I am. And I can come out further afterwards. So in regards to the ears, look at the negative space, which is the space in between those ears. In this one, it's a yellowy sort of space. And why did I draw my bunny so high? So there we go. There's the first mistake that I've made. I'm going to rub that out. That's terrible that I drew that up so high when I just said don't do it up too high. All right. So we'll start that bit again. But that's the beauty of drawing so lightly, because you can rub out and you cannot see where I just did that drawing. Feels like it's getting too high again. Okay, that's all right. This is what happens when you're live. I've done this drawing twice already and didn't have to rub it out. So I'm going to start right down here, because it's going to come up to here. And then you've got that same distance again for the ears. So I'm even going to go down a bit further, which feels kind of weird to be halfway down the page. But obviously I need to allow that room. When you're drawing up a drawing, this is the reason why you have to block it in, as it's called, and you're just tickling the surface with the pencil. We're just getting all the shapes correct at the moment, breaking it down into shapes and making sure. Now that's a much better spot for it, because it's going to allow those ears to be in there and still have some space above the ears. And those lines are all nice and light, so we can rub them out again soon. Okay, so back to this negative space. You can almost draw that negative space in, just so you can see the shape of what these ears are going to be. Now, his ears are pretty much straight up at the moment. He's looking straight at the camera, this bunny. So looking at the shape that's happening in this ear, and just making sure very lightly that we're getting all the shape right. And if it's not right, we can rub it out and try it again. Okay, and if it helps, you can just draw a light line across there. I don't know if you can see that, and that will help be a guide for that other ear, because they are at the same height. So that's looking all right. And then that middle section in there where the ear folds over. All right, now onto this one. It's always a little bit harder when you've gone one way to then copy that the other way. But you've got to watch your reference photo. Always be aware of what's happening in your reference photo, not what you think is happening. Because as soon as you think, oh, it's just a bunny's ear, I can draw that. That's easy, I don't need to look. That's when it will all go wrong. Quite a straight line down the side of the ear there. And then this one actually comes in a lot further down than that one does. It's got a bit of a kink going on there. Very inquisitive little rabbit, this one. Is he a rabbit or is he a hare? It's a question. Maybe he's a hare. A lot of bunnies' ears are actually very floppy. But I did choose this one because he is looking straight at the camera. So, all right, so we've done those folds there. Now we're going to look at his, just want to make sure that I've got, yep, I'm just looking at proportions of the length of that face compared to the ears. Always keep checking that everything's working out like that. And for these eyes, starting, actually I'm just going to neaten up my sketch now because I have quite a few lines happening in there. Eye comes out, back in. Now, if there was a camera watching me, you would notice that my head is moving all the time looking at my reference photo. Always looking. So there I've just chopped out that little bit where the eye is going. Do it again this side and it's fairly even. I guess it's the eye socket. Oh, that one looks very different to that one. Okay. That one I don't like. Don't know what happened there. It wasn't deep enough. So we're wanting to be pretty similar. Does it look like a rabbit yet? And it comes down. And that will go down there. I'm using a 2B pencil, so you really only need one pencil to do up a sketch. Now, I'm not so happy with these eyes. They're meeting at the same point along here. So I just want to make sure that that happens to mine as well. I'll bring that one down a bit further. And around there. Okay. So we've got that in there and that will actually come down there then. So you can rub out those little bits there because they're going to be the eyeball now. This bunny's got some nice big eyes. And this side, it's a little bit harder to see because his ear folds in to the eye. All right, so now I'm going to move on to the little highlights that are in the eyes here. So we're going to just create a little space. Try and get the reflection exactly how you see it. And then this one is not as easy to see, but it is still definitely there. And this is going to help with that 3D effect in the eye. So we'll come back to those eyes again. All right, we're going to move on to this very cute little nose. So pretty much straight under here. We're getting the V of the nose. Just breaking everything down into shapes. And the top of his nose. Here we go. Center there. Goes a bit further. Down to there. Okay. And then his little mouth. He's coming together now, isn't he? All right. So we'll get a little bit more detail happening up here. That bit there. Gonna have some dark bits that will go in there, and then you've got a nice little round bit that's not as easy to see on that side. It is on the right side, going from around the V down to the edge of that mouth. This side it's not so easy, so just draw it in as you did the other side, and it should all match up. So now I'm just going to focus on this shape here. So we're just going to bring it out a bit more. Like that. And then this side, pretty much the same thing. Just be a bit more straight down and around. And then just under his little mouth. So that will go there and that will dip in there. Okay. And then that will go there. Now I haven't done any shading yet. We're just still making sure that all the lines are where we want them. So that will go to there and that to there. So I'll just rub out these little lines here. Still drawing very lightly so that where I do have to rub out, I'm not pressing the paper at all. Really important to always do these drawings up really, really lightly to begin with. And also draw them multiple times. So just keep drawing until you get all those shapes happening correctly. All right, so we're going to come back to the face very soon. We're just going to start doing the body. Now, with the body, we're literally going to do the outline of him, because then I'm going to talk to you about what we're going to do in there. So on this side, and the good thing about this bunny is you haven't got any legs to really worry about. And we're going to be hiding them anyway. And that comes out a lot more than that. If you look at that there, it goes right up here. So got to bring him out to there. Just look at that line going up there, and it keeps going up to the ear. So we've got that now going up to the ear. This side, you can see this is the side that's got his behind, and his front legs are sort of sitting here. So we just need to go from here and do a little hump. And then carry on down. There we go. Okay, so I want to go back up here and do all that detail. And and then maybe we'll go over what I want to do down here. He's looking a little bit fatter than this one. I could maybe make that. There we go. Right, so there we've got our bunny, which you can see, even though it's still very lightly. Now watch what happens as soon as we start to add a little bit of shading. We're just going to do a tiny bit of shading here and there, give you a little bit more of a realistic bunny look. Pressing a little bit harder now because I know everything's been sketched in correctly. So you can start to colour it in if you're just going to be working with graphite, which I'm imagine, well, for the first few bunnies, I would just practice with graphite pencil. Do a few warm-up bunnies. Now, if you would like this image, subscribe to my website, which is Mrs. Red's Art. Oh, actually, it's mrsreds.com.au. Make it easy, and it's on the description as well. And I will be sending this image out to the database in tomorrow's email. So an email goes out on a Wednesday night and a Saturday morning. That's Queensland time. And it always has attachments and lets you know when lesson plans have been uploaded and are ready on the website for you. So there we go. We're just shading in his eyes a bit. I could probably go for a little bit of a darker colour pencil now too. Now I will put little eyelashes in here because then I'll explain what to do with your drawing afterwards. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with this bunny yet. Okay, he's got these little eyelashes up this end. You can't really see too many because of the ear. Got a little bit of a fold happening there. Sketch that in. Then we'll just sketch in just needing to add these darks so that we've just got a little bit of contrast between some of the lights and the darks. Actually, I hadn't coloured it in on the rough one I did earlier because I actually added a flower, but that's all right. I can add flowers elsewhere. Down here, I might just make this a little bit more. Now, this is what we're calling drawing a realistic bunny. But we're not going to go into too much detail. We're going to turn it into an illustrative bunny. And what I mean by an illustrative bunny is we're going to add things to this bunny that wouldn't really be there. Like we're going to give him a bow tie. And also, depending on what you use, paint, pencils, oil pastels, that's when it becomes an illustrative bunny as well, because we're not doing the exact colours that this bunny is. So I'll just put a bit of detail in there. So I'm thinking that I might do like a pen and ink with this one. Black pen and then just with the inks and have it very watery, maybe watercolour, I don't know. Let's put some whiskers in. So the whiskers are all coming sort of out from these areas of the cheeks. Okay, and then, all right, so I'm going to just head down here again, down towards this area. So this bunny is obviously sitting in a field. It's Easter time, so we're going to add some Easter eggs in the front. This is where we're starting to turn this bunny into an illustrative bunny. We've drawn up the bunny as such. And do another egg. How am I going for time? Yep, that's good. Won't be much longer. Some eggs there. Or might look a bit silly if I just put another egg in there. I might just leave it as 2. And then we've got blades of grass as well. So and they might come in front of the egg there as well. I hope you can see those marks. They're a little bit scratchy. I bring them up to the camera. You can just see those little scratchy marks there. They're all very light because I think they will end up being brush strokes of blades of grass. But that way we don't have to worry about the body of our bunny. I still think he's a lot fatter than this one. He's maybe shorter as well, but that's all right. Okay, and I just wanted to add a flower. I might put a flower this time. Okay, I'm going to put the flower back in here. So I'm just going to rub that bit of pencil line out, otherwise it will fill the flower. So again, we're being illustrative here, so we can do what we like. Any kind of drawing this art skill is for, you're just blocking out all the shapes to begin with and then filling in. And it's also just practicing. Don't be disappointed if it doesn't come together straight away. Might take you a few goes. Remember that I draw almost every day. But I even got the proportions wrong at the beginning of this rabbit drawing, even though I've done 2 of them before the YouTube live this afternoon, just so I knew what I was doing and how much time it was going to take me. So I'll fill that bit of ear in again there. All right, and I wanted to put a bow on him as well. All right, so we've got, well, I shouldn't say him, maybe it's looking like a very pretty bunny, if I must say. Very proud, pretty little bunny. You can be a boy or a girl, it doesn't matter. And adding that bow. Yeah, so age-wise, I'm thinking over 10. Excuse me. Or also adults who are wanting to do a template for younger kids. You could actually draw this up and then do black outline. Excuse me. There we go. What do you think of that? That's our little realistic bunny turning into an illustrative bunny. I'm just going to have a drink of water. There we go. So what I'm going to do with this now is keep going, and I'll do maybe a black outline in pen and then add some watercolors or some inks to it. I might put some more pattern into the eggs yet. And also a background. The great thing about this actual photo is that there's no distraction in the background because it's been blurred. So it's all about looking at the big shapes and then breaking them down and making them smaller and smaller and getting to a stage where you're happy with it. But it definitely looks like a very cute little bunny here, dressed up, ready for Easter. I'll put the camera back over to myself and wrap things up. There we go. Okay, so the description in the description below, you've got my email address, the website. I will also include the photographer's name who has taken this gorgeous photo, and I would love to hear your questions, see your feedback, email me, reach me on social media. It's Easter time. Kids have just finished school in Queensland today. So a great little Easter project. Turn it into an artwork and put it on the wall. Absolutely. An Easter artwork. Sounds good. And I will be back next Friday, which is Friday the 8th. We will do another Easter project again then. And then the following Friday is Good Friday. So I'm not sure what I'll be doing on Good Friday, whether we'll be having a project or not. So I look forward to hearing from you. Enjoy the project, and I will see you next week. Bye.